I will be very brief. In 1970, I gave a report about the Six-Day War to my Spokane middle school social studies class. My teacher noted afterwards that throughout the report, when I referred to Israel, I always said we, not they. Of course, even then, I knew that my fate was tied up with that of the Jewish state. My connection to Israel runs deep, as I imagine everybody has a story here they could tell. I met my husband at Hebrew University. He's from California. We had to go to Israel to meet. We have many friends and much family there. In addition to numerous visits, I lived there for 5 years, including a sabbatical year when our children were young. I believe, and as a teacher I've taught, that it's a great privilege and responsibility to live during this time of Jewish sovereignty after 2,000 years of longing to return. And yet, no matter how connected or how knowledgeable any of us here were about Israel, the message used to be to American Jews, always the same: send us your money, keep your opinions to yourself. Yes, Israel is complicated, and American Jews too often offer advice without first listening and empathizing with Israel's reality. But to be honest, Israelis too often do that regarding American Jews. However, for the last 9 months, with Israel as a Jewish and democratic country in danger from within, Israelis are reaching out to American Jews for support, as we've seen tonight, and we thank you so much for coming here all the way from Israel to tell us firsthand. You've come to us and you've begged us to support you in new and unprecedented ways, to no longer be the Jews of silence. This is a moment of crisis for the entire Jewish people, not just for Israel. It's a crisis for all of us when a small group of so-called religious Jews justify the murder of innocent Palestinians and then call the murderers heroes. That doesn't work. It's a crisis for all of us when some members of the Israeli government speak of Jewish supremacy, when they silence the voices of women and others. Our Torah is clear. Every human is made b'tselem Elohim, in God's image. Every person deserves to be seen, heard, and respected. It's a crisis for all of us when the Israeli government, in the name of reform, presents laws that exacerbate rather than alleviate existing inequalities. Our Torah is obsessed with creating a judiciary system with one law, mishpat echad, for citizens and strangers, for all the people who live in the land. It's a crisis for all of us when we attack each other physically or verbally, resulting in an intensification of frustrations and a further proliferation of stereotypes, whether this happens in Israel or, frankly, here in Seattle. It's a crisis that between our communities and within our communities, we too often speak in stereotypical generalities, as if all Haredim, Orthodox, leftists, Ashkenazim, Sephardim, secular, you name the group, as if individual, unique human beings all fit neatly into some preconceived box. This moment offers us an opening to create a new reality in which curiosity, empathy, and honest dialogue are possible. The words of Abraham Lincoln ring true for us today. Quote, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew, and then we shall save our country." End of quote. We owe it to our children to use this crisis to model a new way of treating each other, respecting each other, listening to each other. Thank you to Unacceptable, to all of you in Unacceptable with your leadership, for helping us start to build this new space together in order to save our beloved Israel and to breathe new life into the entire Jewish people. Ken Yehi Ratzon.